Hello and welcome everybody. This is an addendum episode to Incoherent Ramblings Live. Today I'm hosting and I'm the Everyday Geek. And what we're going to do today is just have some follow-up information about things that are happening with MoviePass and other situations based around it. And with us today is, oh my goodness, messing up already. Here we are. There he is. There's Ralph. Ralph is with us on the phones, or on a phone of some kind.
Yo.
Hello. I was looking at the wrong screen on my Stream Deck and realized how much I'm really messing this up. So you have tons of headroom, my friend, but that's okay though. So
how's that? Is that better?
Yeah, that's perfect. we'll just go with it. So one of the first things I wanted to start with was to just talk about something that I neglected to mention regarding MoviePass. Both Pablo Jalapeno and the Leafy Green had asked me, are the theaters suffering from using MoviePass? And the thing is, by default, the theaters get paid full price, and the user experience when you use your MoviePass is you get a receipt that shows the full price of the ticket on it. And that kind of misled me to answer that, yes, all the theaters are being paid full price for all the tickets. But one of the strategies that MoviePass has to stay afloat is to negotiate bulk pricing with theaters or reduced rates. So if it's a big chain, it's quite possible that thousands of tickets are sold on a daily basis to MoviePass subscribers. And why not get a bulk discount on that of 20, 25% or something? So they try to negotiate that kind of thing. The big chains have more or less refused to cooperate because they would rather get full price for everything. Some smaller theaters, I think, do work with them because they don't get a ton of MoviePass customers. And the strategy there is, although we're paying for a reduced price ticket, you're going to have more butts and seats because there are going to be more MoviePass people showing up. And it's been contended that maybe MoviePass is kind of like the last chance for the flailing movie system, because theaters have, last year they had a 25-year low in 2017, and this year it's been picking up, and that might be due in part to the popularity of MoviePass. So that's MoviePass saying to the theaters, you scratch our back, we'll scratch yours, and give us a discount on the pricing so we have enough money to cover our responsibilities to the users. So that's why I wanted to amend to what I had said on the previous episode. That's a bit of a correction because I neglected to say that. And now what I'd like to do after just making that correction is we're going to go back to Ralph. And so, Ralph, what are your thoughts on MoviePass? I heard that you had some problems with it recently.
This is correct. My brother, my roommate, and myself, we all have MoviePass. The only difference between myself and them is I paid for the year in full, like you, and they have the monthly plan. So my roommate and myself wanted to see The Incredibles 2. Not really a big deal, you'd think, but we tried 3 different times to see it. All 3 times, every time we load MoviePass. Now, granted, 2 of those times we were already at the theater, and nothing would load up. None of those pictures were available to see, even though it was Showtime was available. And we looked at the seats. The seats were hardly anybody in there.
Right.
So
was it an e-ticketing event?
I'm sorry?
Was it an e-ticketing theater?
No, it's not an e-ticketing theater. It was the Edwards, Ontario on Mountain Avenue.
Okay.
It's close to my house.
Yeah.
So it's not an e-ticketing theater. I mean, it does have its own advanced line type ticketing system, but that's a different pass than MoviePass.
Okay.
Plus the other thing, what's today? Today is the 7th
of August.
Yeah. And I checked earlier today. I still cannot see the Mission Impossible Fallout.
Right.
It says it's a premium screening. It
Right.
also said that for Christopher Robin, and it now says it
Wow.
for Darken or Darkest. That
Darkest Minds?
crazy. I'm sorry.
The Darkest Minds?
Yeah, that one. That was one I could see earlier.
Oh, and
So
it's
all
off
I
the
can
list
see now
huh?
is like Hotel Transylvania and Teen
Yeah.
Titans and Mamma Mia.
So
That's
they
the
seem
only
to
ones
be
that are playing right now in my theater.
they seem to be cutting out a lot of access to movies. And I wanted to point out something that earlier there's an email that came from MoviePass today, and it clarified something I had a question about because I last week had difficulty seeing Mission Impossible Fallout, and it started showing up at a Monrovia theater, only one theater that had e-ticketing, and I was able to get in there. And according to this email, e-ticketing movies are not being phased out. However, they don't show up on your main interface, so you have to search for the movie to find showtimes. So what I'm going to do is bring up a screen grab of, here we go. This is my phone right now running the MoviePass app. And if you look here, one of the ones you mentioned was Christopher Robin, right? Like, let's say you're interested in seeing Christopher Robin, and that's a movie I haven't seen yet, so it should show up on my list. But if I look on new releases, it's not listed. If I look under new now playing, it's not listed, right? Top box office, not listed. Same with Mission Impossible Fallout, right? So these are movies I could just tap on to search for them. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the magnifying glass in the corner, and now I can type in a name of a movie. So I'm going to start with Christopher Robin here. And when it pops up on the search list, I can click the movie. And if it's available via e-ticketing near me, there it is. It's available at the Studio Movie Grill, Monrovia. So that's a way to kind of shortcut in. If the movie's not showing up in the app, do a search for it, and then it'll show available showtimes. Now, you'll see here there are a lot of grayed out listings. It says this premium screening is not supported. That's what I was seeing for Mission Impossible Fallout up until I think it was Friday. I was seeing that for everything. But now that e-ticketing is supported in the app, you can actually register an e-ticket the same day as the movie performance. So they don't black out any movies that are available for e-ticketing, which is kind of a cool thing.
Okay.
So that's the way to get through there and kind of bypass them deleting movies from the list, because the movies are still in the system. Just you can't see them as a regular screening. You have to see them at a theater that supports e-ticketing. And in my area, it seems like Monrovia Studio Grill is about the only one that does.
E-ticketing is also that auto kiosk, right? It's not.
Well, it gives you either a code or a QR code that you can show the attendant at the register.
Okay.
Because the places I used it at, they didn't actually have a machine that scans it for you. You hand your phone to the attendant, and they either type in or scan the barcode.
Okay. Yeah. See, I haven't done e-ticketing yet.
But the cool thing about that is you can actually register before you leave home. So that's kind of neat. Like when I registered to see Mission Impossible, it was a few hours before the showtime. And that raised an interesting conundrum for me, because it does say that it's non-refundable and all that. And I wonder what happens from MoviePass's perspective if someone just decides, like, I'm going to register for an e-ticketed movie and then just not show. Do they still get charged? I bet they do, because the theater is going to... But it means there's, like, not much skin off your back for not going, right? It's like if you change your mind and go, like, oh, I just don't feel like going, then you didn't pay for it, and MoviePass has to pay for you. But I guess because you're only allowed to see each movie once, though, that would count against your one showing. Yeah, that would count
against you.
Right, so you would be blacked out on that movie for perpetuity after that. So I guess that's why you should if you register, you should just go, So
yeah. And the other thing is with my MoviePass, even though I can see different theaters, I try and stick to one. and then join the rewards. So I'm with Regal/Edwards.
Mm-hmm.
I get that rewards. So if I go to AMC, then I'd have to get their rewards. So I try and keep it to one theater.
Right.
Because like right now, I'm literally, I think, 800 points away from having 2 free movie tickets.
Yeah.
And those could come in handy if, say, the other guys want to see a movie in Ontario at the Edwards there and see it in, say, IMAX.
Well, it could also be handy if Movie Pass files for bankruptcy and you can no longer use it, you know.
Well, I'm just saying, if the guys, even though I still have Movie Pass, and they go to that theater and they want to see it in IMAX, I can just redeem my points to get a free ticket and see that at the same theater at the same time.
Right.
So that's the cool thing with the rewards. Or you can use it for drinks or popcorn, but you know, not that I have to go into detail about being a diabetic, but being a diabetic means certain things, and if you drink more, you have to take more bathroom breaks.
Right.
So I don't want to miss the movie, so I just make it a habit of not to drink.
Right. I try not to get drunk before I go to the theater myself.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Except when we see
theaters that you can drink.
Except when we see the Two Towers, I drank a whole pitcher of beer right before we went in for that one. That was a long time ago. Yeah.
That was a long movie.
So I remember we had people in the theater holding seats for us, and I had just ordered a beer, and we thought we still had, an hour plus. We got the call, and it was like, you got to get over here now, or they're going to take your seats. It's like, oh, crap. Well, chug.
Yep, I do remember that.
Anyway, enough about me.
Anyway.
I wanted to know what were the specific problems you had getting into The Incredibles. Was it that when you got to the theater, you couldn't check in on the app, or?
Well, the thing was, it wasn't it's like the movie was.
They're coming for you.
There's no times for it or anything.
What is going on over there?
Okay, there's sirens going on, and my dog's howling because of the sirens.
Right.
So.
And earlier we had the train going by and all sorts of things. This has been pretty eventful.
There you go.
It's fun.
So, yeah, and by the way, I haven't yet seen The Incredibles. I still haven't seen it because the 2 times we were at the theater, it wasn't there.
Okay.
And then we're like, well, screw this. My roommate was sleeping.
Well, when you say it wasn't there, is it because it was a premium screening and you couldn't check?
No, because I checked, like, it's funny because the third time we're going to see it,
right? I
was going to wake him up if it was there. I checked Movie Pass. It was not there. And I'm like, this is just so frustrating. So I went up to Circle K, I grabbed a drink, and I was explaining to the clerk up there because she was wondering what's up. And I'm like, look, I can't even get The Incredibles. And when I opened up Movie Pass, The Incredibles were there again, like all the other times, like the 3 and onwards. Just the 12 didn't show up. And I'm like, what the hell? So when I went back to tell my roommate, he's like, nah, I'm over it. Screw it.
And then he canceled, right?
And then he canceled today. Literally, he canceled. After the email came out today explaining what was going on, he canceled.
But he was month to month, right?
He was month to month. My brother's the same. He got the same pass as my brother.
Because for us,
they signed up together.
It makes no sense for us to cancel because they have our money locked until our year is up.
We're locked. Why do it? We have the most sensible plan when you think about it now.
Right.
Especially if you have the amount of movies. I mean, so right now my movie count is 21 movies since March.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm like 15 movies since March, so I'm lagging. Yeah. But when you work out the average,
22 had I been able to see. But the last movie I saw, which thank God didn't give me a problem, was The Equalizer 2.
Yeah.
So
I saw that one also.
My brother and I.
When I was ready to see Mission Impossible, I couldn't get into it, so I saw Equalizer 2. And
how'd you like it? Did you like it?
I thought it was pretty slow, really.
Yeah, honestly, I kind of like the first one better.
Me too.
Story-wise.
Yeah, for sure.
but whatever.
Yeah.
It was like I said, it's a somewhat free movie at this point.
Yeah, exactly. So we seem like we're in a good spot because we've already had Movie Pass for a number of months and we're getting a value out of it. But if you were going to buy right now, what would you tell someone? You know, they're saying like, look, I want to go month to month, or I want to buy the annual one. What should you do?
Well, you need to ask yourself this first question. Honestly, do you think you'll see more than 3 movies a month? If the answer is yes, then you'll want to look into something that is more to your liking.
Right.
The AMC has got their own pass. Of course, that's to AMC movie theaters only, but that's $20 a month. But that gives you 3 movies a week.
A week, yeah.
And that opens the door if you like 3D or you want IMAX.
Yeah, because they include access to IMAX and 3D. And we should clarify that the reason why you're saying if you want more than 3 movies a month is that the new terms for Movie Passes, if you're a new subscriber, you can sign up for $9.95 a month and see up to 3 standard movies a month. And then you'll be given up to...
It's also going to extend to the monthly users like my brother or my roommate, but he's not longer. My brother, starting the 15th of August, is going to get that plan no matter what.
Right, because he's month to month. The next month he renews, it's going to be the new terms, right? Now, the other part of that is you're not limited to only 3 movies, but you can receive a discount of up to $5 on additional movies. So it's, you know, it's still not like you can't see more than 3 movies, but you're going to be paying a pretty big sum for your 4th and 5th and so on.
Yeah, so unless you see the movies in the morning or early afternoon, like what a movie for us is $9.70. I mean, and I know they vary from place to place. This is California. Maybe your place is cheaper, or maybe your place is more expensive. I don't know, but I know premium movies at night are more. So $9.70 minus 5 is $4.70. It's almost $5. Well,
a lot of theaters I've seen movies at I look at the receipt and it would have been $12.50, $14.
Yeah.
You know, it's so like on those you'd be paying the majority,
movies, right? Huh? Those are the night movies.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. See, you're more night movie watching. I'm more day movie watching.
Not so much. I mean, I usually go for matinees because I usually have to be home by 7-ish anyway. So yeah.
Well, those prices you're talking about, those are more night movies. I don't.
Well, they might be just.
We're usually seeing them.
Premium experience theaters, you know, like Cineopolis and some other ones. Anyway, though, I think that's the majority of what we wanted to talk about. Do you want to add anything else before we sign off?
Well, like I said, it's if you're going to get Movie Pass, maybe you'll like it, maybe you won't. Maybe there's something other than you. Or just stay at home and be cheap and wait for it to come out on video like Redbox. I mean...
Yeah.
I mean,
well, another
honestly,
option is there's some.
That's how my neighbor is. My neighbor just waits for it to come out on Redbox.
Right.
It's $2. It's way cheaper than the theater. Plus, you don't have all the problems of the theater. People talking, people texting, their phone going off, people eating too loud. I mean, it's crazy.
Oh, that happened during A Quiet Place because that movie is so hush hush. And like someone settled in at the beginning of the movie, and I swear it was like 15 minutes before I stopped hearing rappers and all this stuff going off. It's like, come on.
It is kind of annoying. You know, if you're paying, that's the other thing that I do like about Movie Pass. Mm-hmm. I've been in a couple of movies. I've just kind of bared it because people were talking or somebody was using their phone. I'm like, you know, the things that I would complain and try and get a free movie out of, I just don't do anymore.
You already didn't pay
Pass
out of your own pocket, so you're not going to get a refund.
I'm not paying. Yeah. So
it does. It's almost like the same mentality as getting like an annual pass to a theme park. You know, like we did that at Universal one time. We did it at Disneyland. It's one of those things where it's like when you go for a single day, you want to maximize the value of that ticket, and you know immediately get in line for the next ride, and you're just on it the whole day, hustle, hustle, hustle. You know, when you have an annual pass, you just go to the park and you chill all day. You know, like you have a leisurely lunch and maybe go on a ride or two, but you get to enjoy yourself a lot more. So I think Movie Pass engenders that same kind of attitude where it's like, you know, yeah, I get to go to the movie and chill, and I don't have to worry that I just spent a load of money. It's just, you know, easy, and I like that. It's kind of a different feel, you know.
Yeah. By the way, you also might mention that in this video that I started out, I know, in the light because I'm sitting outside.
You've been getting dusky there. So.
It's been getting dark and dark, and I don't have a porch light, so
no problem. It's all cool. But so yeah, I was gonna say about like
that's my 2 cents about Movie Pass. You know, you're either gonna like it or you're not gonna like it. It's either for you or it's not. For me, it's still worth it.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I did get, like I said, 21 movies out of it so far. And there's still a lot more movies coming out that I can't wait to see. But when it comes to next year, March, I don't know.
Yeah.
Is Movie Pass still going to be around? Maybe.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
But with the restrictions, no, I don't like the restrictions.
Right. Yeah, and who does?
Like if they did allow me, let's say if they allowed me to repeat, like just pay $105 again for the year, and I don't change, I'd do that.
Right.
I would definitely do that again because, you know, 21 movies has pretty much paid for my pass twice.
Yeah.
You know, I'm either a movie or two away from that, or I've already reached it.
You see, that's why Movie Pass probably can't continue to offer that because they lose too much money doing it.
Yeah, exactly. And so is that going to be a thing? Probably not. Yeah. But we'll
and particularly see. When they don't get the cooperation of the major chains, because if they can't get reduced pricing on your behalf, then they're going to be stuck just shooting money out at everyone. And some people have cited that, you know, this is like the last chance the theaters have to turn things around, and they're kind of, you know, sniping at Movie Pass, saying, you know, we don't want people to get used to the idea of movies being cheap. We want to be able to charge premium prices for it. But obviously, there's a demand for inexpensive movies that otherwise people wouldn't sign up for Movie Pass, and it might be one of the last chances that the whole system has to set itself right. And then AMC doing the Stubbs A-list thing, which is their kind of version of Movie Pass, that might be where the industry goes to save itself, and Movie Pass might still go under because, you know, they're like the pioneer with all the arrows in their back, you know?
Yeah, that's true. That could happen. I will say, though, with what the movies are doing, and maybe not as everybody has experienced, but reclined seating is really nice. And a lot of them, like there's the AMC Dine-In, which has a table reclining, which you can get burgers and alcohol. It's the theaters are doing that. Plus, it's reducing the seats, so it's not like cramming a ton of people in.
Mm-hmm.
So it feels like you got more room to stretch out and relax. So I see the theaters doing what they're doing to try and stay alive. But is Movie Pass going to stay alive? They are being a pioneer in this, and there's already squirrels running around copying them, but they have to do something or they're not going to stay alive. Yeah, this is unsustainable because there's people like me and you.
Mm-hmm.
And my brother, to a point where, you know, where we were seeing a lot of movies.
Right.
So,
okay.
I mean, if you see more than 3 movies a month, you really are kind of crushing them.
Yeah, it's true. But the thing is, you know, why wouldn't you? Because you have the right to.
Yeah, I mean, they're the ones that set this in the beginning, and I'm amazed that nobody thought that this wasn't a good idea from the very beginning to have no restrictions.
Right.
You know, what was it? Was it like a meeting in there? Well, let's just call a flat rate, no restrictions, and see how this flies. You know, and
Yeah.
we're already a year into their reduced pricing. I don't know how long they've been around,
Yeah.
but this is the year since they started this whole experiment, and they're hurting for money. So obviously, it was a bad idea. And why they thought that might have been a good idea, I don't know. I hear people talk about the whole kind of like the whole gym membership thing where you're all pumped for the first couple of months, you go
Mm-hmm.
all the time, and then you just kind of forget about it and you just still renew it, but you don't go.
Yeah.
Or you go every once in a while.
And that might be where they eventually wind up, but it's not there now, and they're not getting all these residuals from people who casually use Movie Pass. I think the majority of people are excited about it, and they go to the theater often. And my guess is that the management at Movie Pass probably overestimated the amount of cooperation they were going to get from theater chains, and they were figuring on, you know, we'll try to get all the tickets half price, and that way we'll be able to use other methods of generating money, you know, the data collection and all these other things, directed advertising. All of that combined will mean that the price of $9.95 or whatever they charged made sense. But since they largely can't get reduced price tickets, they're just bleeding money all over the place.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Plus, I don't really care what they do with my data. I'm not one of those people that freak out, oh, my data, you're doing this. I mean...
And this is the guy who wouldn't go on Facebook for the longest time.
Yeah, well, you know, after I broke down with Facebook, you know, it was a domino effect after that. I stopped caring.
It's like Facebook broke you, and now you're done. You're just like, whatever, take on my data. I don't care.
I mean, I don't even, the only thing I go on Facebook is just to kill time and like things here and there, and that's about it. I rarely post, if anything. I was going to post 4th of July, but, you know, thank God my phone had to break.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know if that's a cursing or not, but, I mean, I did want to edit the video because there was a lot of cursing in the video.
Right.
And I didn't want to post that online.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, how often do people get a chance to see a 4th of July show that close from a phone? I mean,
not often.
I don't see many.
Yeah.
And to experience an 8-inch shell going off literally feet from me, yeah, that was jarring for all three of us.
Right.
That's where a lot of the profanity started.
Right. But yeah, when they go off close to you, everyone yells something. You know?
Yeah, I mean, we were used to the other ones, but it was just like that. Just that one after some cake went off. It was like, oh my God. Whose idea was this?
Yeah, to do it so close. Well, we're definitely off topic right now, but I think we're just going to call it a wrap up. I think we got out everything we wanted to. So,
yeah.
This was essentially episode 0.1 because the first episode was episode 0. Be sure to go check that one out because we have some information that we put up there in addition to what we talked about today. And so signing off for Incoherent Ramblings, this is the Everyday Geek. And you can find us at iamrambling.com and check out all of our socials. And we'll be posting this video around. Right now it's on Facebook, but we're going to put it on YouTube and a few other places. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.